dog, man. I'm getting it the f***ing out of my wallet. Shut up. Tell me to do. I'm on the phone with my mom.
Step back.
No.
The shrill, piercing scream of a young woman cut through the humid night air of Beach Park, Illinois, echoing with the raw desperation of a small child calling for a parent in the dark. Mom! Mom! Why are they touching me? The voice belonged to 21-year-old Jayla Martinez Plushke. But the scene was not a playground dispute or a domestic accident. It was the volatile culmination of a high-speed road rage incident that had spiraled out of control and into a felony investigation. On September 15, 2024, the flashing red and blue lights illuminated the intersection of West Wadsworth Road and North Garnet Avenue, casting harsh, flickering shadows on a confrontation that perfectly illustrated the modern collision between perceived entitlement and the rigid, unforgiving boundaries of the law. Minutes earlier, Lake County Sheriff's deputies had been on routine patrol, scanning for the usual traffic violations, when they witnessed a chaotic scene unfolding on the asphalt. Two vehicles were tearing through traffic, weaving aggressively and ignoring speed limits. One car was chasing the other in a dangerous game of cat and mouse. To the trained eyes of the deputies, this was a reckless driving event in progress, a clear violation of Illinois compiled statutes 62.5, Section 11-503. They initiated a traffic stop, likely expecting to separate two aggressive drivers, issue citations, and de-escalate a road rage dispute. Instead, they found themselves managing a psycho girl police encounter that would rapidly devolve from a standard traffic investigation into a viral showcase of resistance. The driver of the gray Hyundai, Jayla Martinez Plushke, did not act like a suspect who had just been caught speeding. She acted like a victim who had been inconvenienced by the help she had summoned. As soon as the vehicles came to a halt, she exited her car, a dangerous and highly irregular move during a high-risk stop. She was agitated, pacing away from the officers rather than complying with standard safety protocols. "There's a photo of our car," she announced, gesturing wildly, assuming the officers were there to serve her specific needs rather than enforce the law. "This is a description we got." "What's going on?" a deputy asked, attempting to gain control of the narrative and assess the threat level. Jayla's response was immediate, dismissive, and dripping with attitude. "Damn! I'm trying to get my keys, my friend," she snapped, turning her back on the badge. "I'm trying to go home. I'm tired, bro." This initial exchange revealed a fundamental, perhaps generational, misunderstanding of her legal standing. Jayla believed that because she was pursuing a friend to retrieve stolen property, her house keys, she was exempt from traffic laws. She viewed her reckless driving not as a crime, but as necessary vigilantism. The officers, however, viewed it as a public safety hazard. To them, she was an entitled brat endangering lives, not a damsel in distress. "Okay, can we go? Hey, don't walk away." "Don't walk away from me," the deputy commanded, his voice firm but professional. Under Illinois law, specifically 720 ILCS 5, Section 31-1, refusing to obey a peace officer's lawful order during an investigation constitutes resisting or obstructing. Jayla was already crossing a legal line that separates a warning from handcuffs. She ignored the command, attempting to walk toward a nearby business as if the officers were merely background noise. "No, you cannot go inside. We're investigating right now. Get back inside your car right now," the deputy ordered, escalating his tone to match her defiance. We're good! We're trying to get our cheese," she shouted back, likely mispronouncing keys in her frantic state, or perhaps using slang that confused the context. "Don't leave. You just told me to go back inside my car," she argued, attempting to debate the logistics of her detention rather than complying with it. The situation was deteriorating rapidly. Jayla and her male passenger began shouting over the officers, their behavior bordering on what internet commentators might label a mental breakdown. They were frantic, illogical, and loud. "Sir, stop! Stop running your mouth," the deputy warned the male passenger, who was adding fuel to the fire. "The operator told us to do what we just told us to do," the passenger screamed back, invoking the instructions of a 911 dispatcher as if they superseded the orders of the sworn deputies standing right in front of him. Jayla then played a card, often seen in viral videos involving an entitled teen arrested, though she was an adult. The threat of legal counsel. "I'm literally calling my lawyer," she announced, holding her phone up like a shield against reality. "No, I'm calling my lawyer driver's license. I'm calling my lawyer. No, you need your driver's license. You failed to provide your driver's license, the deputy countered. This was the second critical failure. Illinois Statute 625, Section 6-112 mandates that a driver must have their license in their immediate possession and display it upon demand. Refusal is an arrestable offense. I'm the one who called, ma'am. Jayla screamed at a female officer who stepped in to assist. Shut up. No, ma'am. Ma'am, step aside, the female officer ordered, trying to separate the subjects to interview them. Called you guys to help me, Jayla yelled, her voice cracking with emotion. I called you guys to get my keys from my friend. I didn't do this. Expletive. This cognitive dissonance is common in cases where a woman loses it with cops. Jayla believed her status as the initial 911 caller granted her immunity. She viewed the police as customer service agents she had summoned to resolve a dispute, not as law enforcement officers obligated to investigate the crimes she committed while trying to resolve that dispute. She admitted to the chase, admitted to the conflict, but refused to accept the consequences of her methods. She was acting like a Karen calls cops archetype, expecting the manager to side with her regardless of her own behavior. As the officers attempted to corral her back to her vehicle to restore order, the interaction turned physical. Back up of your car, the officer ordered. He's not letting me in my car, Jayla screamed into her phone, narrating the event to her mother rather than engaging with the reality of the moment. Don't touch me and watch what will happen with your station. She began threatening the officers' jobs and their precinct, a hallmark of the Karen archetype. She believed she possessed the power to dismantle a police station because she was unhappy with the service. Just stand in front of the car, the officer pleaded, showing remarkable restraint as his police patience tested the limits of professional conduct. I'm trying to go home, she whined, her tone shifting from aggressive to childish. You guys are here. You need to cooperate because, dude, I just called the lady, she rambled, her sentences becoming disjointed. She said she was going to get these expletive that had my keys, not me. The deputies tried to de-escalate, asking her to simply stand still so they could talk. Then, let's talk. But stand in front of the car, the officer negotiated. Bro, they're laughing around the expletive McDonald's and expletive laughing with my keys, Jayla cried, pointing toward the other vehicle involved in the chase. She felt mocked, and her humiliation fueled her non-compliance. She was paranoid, seeing enemies everywhere, behaving like a disturbed individual rather than a rational driver. ID, the officer requested again, offering her a final chance to de-escalate the situation herself. I do, but I'm not giving you my ID, she stated flatly. It was a confession to a willful violation of the law. Why are you not giving? Why are you on? The officer asked, baffled by the blatant refusal. Because when I called the police station, I gave them my name. They got my number, she reasoned. In her mind, the digital trail of her 911 call replaced the physical requirement of identification. She then demanded the police help her stalk the other driver. The person I'm chasing is Jana Davis. I need my keys from her. What's her address so I can go get them? She was asking the officers to provide the home address of the woman she had just chased through the streets of Beach Park. The entitlement was staggering. She wanted the police to act as accomplices to her confrontation. She was completely out of control. You are not walking away. Once again, the officer said as Jayla began to drift toward the street, ignoring the boundaries of the stop. Can you shut the expletive up? We're done. Don't talk to me like that. What, you ugly? She retorted, resorting to juvenile insults when her legal arguments failed. The bratty girl arrested narrative was taking shape. She called the officer ugly and accused the female officer of being on a power trip. Step back, the officer ordered. No. I'm on the phone with my mom. Step back, she commanded the police. Listen to Buddy. You're expletive bad. You're on a power trip. The situation reached a breaking point when Jayla introduced a racial element to the confrontation, attempting to weaponize identity politics to escape the consequences of her actions. Is it 'cause we're black? She asked. Tell her to stop touching me. Then we will put you in handcuffs. When you calm down, the officer warned, signaling that the time for talking was over. Trying to put me in handcuffs. Am I not the one who's been talking to you the comps the whole time? She asked. The lack of self-awareness was profound. She had been screaming, cursing, and refusing orders, yet she perceived herself as the calm, rational party. This delusion is a common feature in crazy girl versus police encounters. "Just sit down," the officer ordered. "Mom, why would I sit down when you're being stupid expletive and now she trying to kick me and she weak as expletive and she can't do expletive," she ranted, disparaging the female officer's physical strength in a vile display of disrespect. The officers moved to arrest her. The phone call to her mother was forcefully ended as they secured her hands. "Why did you hang up? Why did you forcefully stop our phone call?" she screamed. "Explain to me the expletive laws right now and tell me why you forcefully stopped our phone call. There is no constitutional right to continue a phone conversation while resisting arrest." The officers were securing the scene. "You're compounding your problems," the sergeant warned her, trying to break through her hysteria. "You're making this bigger than it needs to be." "Tell me how I legally got here," she demanded, acting as if she had been teleported into handcuffs without cause. "You kept walking away from the car," the officer explained calmly. "But I didn't," she lied. "Yes, you did. When your supervisor gets here, I'll get in the car," she bargained, attempting to bypass the chain of command, a classic Karen maneuver. "I am her supervisor." "Get in the car," the sergeant replied, shutting down her attempt to triangulate the officers. "You're not expletive supervisor," she yelled. "You wouldn't be expletive slow if you were the supervisor." As they forced her into the back of the patrol vehicle, the resistance turned violent. Jayla refused to put her legs inside the car, keeping the door from closing. "Mom! Mom! Why are they touching me?" she shrieked, playing to an audience that wasn't there. It was a gentle parenting fail moment manifested in adulthood. She had seemingly never been told no and was now facing the ultimate authority. Please put your legs in the car," the officer requested repeatedly. "Mom, what is going on with this lady?" "She's about to break out the window of the car," the officer noted. Jayla was kicking the glass, thrashing in the confined space, acting like a lunatic. "What are you breathing?" "I can't breathe. I can't breathe," she suddenly claimed. "I'm not suffocating you. Your mom is right here," the officer assured her. The "I can't breathe" claim, often used in police Bodycam crazy compilations, was contradicted by her ability to scream at the top of her lungs for minutes on end. "You scratched up my entire arm," the officer stated, revealing the escalation of the charges. "Your entire arm? I didn't expletive touch you," she denied immediately. "I didn't expletive touch you. Why the expletive are you arresting me when I didn't do expletive?" This scratch changed the trajectory of her life. Under Illinois Statute 720 ILCS 5, Section 12-3.05, causing bodily harm to a peace officer is a Class 2 felony. What began as a traffic ticket for speeding was now a serious violent crime. She had gone from a give-him-a-ticket girl to a felony suspect in minutes. "Stupid 5-foot expletive, stupid expletive, white lady," Jayla muttered, her insults becoming explicitly racist as she targeted the female officer. "I am sick of white people pushing me over." This racist woman arrest narrative she was trying to spin fell flat against the evidence of her own aggression. She continued to hurl abuse. "I'm not even saying you. I don't give an expletive about you," she told the male officer. "Like, cool. You didn't take my lane. You didn't rape and pillage my people. I don't give a expletive. I'll explain to you when you calm down," the officer promised, showing incredible restraint given the abuse he was taking. "I'm calm. Can you please just explain it to me?" she asked, seconds after screaming racial slurs and kicking the window. "You were driving that vehicle there, right? That gray Hyundai. You were driving it." The officer established the facts. "When I was on Wadsworth Road, I watched you." He went across the street right in front of my car, following the other car. "I did it, but you can't. You can't engage in a car pursuit," the officer educated her. "I didn't see the other car. I saw you," she argued, admitting to the act but denying the intent. "You are under arrest," the officer stated clearly. "For obstructing, for resisting a police officer. Can you explain what the expletive?" "You scratched the hell out of my arm," I said. "Can you prove it?" "Not explain." I said. "Can you prove it?" she challenged, adopting a pseudo-legal stance again. The standoff at the car door continued. Jayla demanded her phone, refused to put her legs inside, and screamed insults. "You stupid expletive. You're not waiting till I'm calm. You're waiting till you have authority," she accused. If you do not put your leg in the car, I'm giving you a fair warning that you will be dragged inside the car, okay? The officer warned. Where the expletive is my phone, my property that I expletive started this expletive with. Give it to my hand, she demanded. I'll give it to you if you put your legs in the car. The officer offered a compromise. I don't expletive believe you. You guys are full of nothing but expletive lies, she screamed. You're a expletive liar. I will reach my expletive hand out until you expletive hand it to me. She was negotiating her surrender like a hostage taker, but she was the only hostage. She was a woman having meltdown, trapped by her own refusal to comply. See, you're being so compliant because you know that you're expletive bullshitting, she analyzed, projecting her own manipulative behavior onto the officer. I am so much calmer because of the fact of what I know now. That is so insane. Wow, she said, entering a manic phase of realization. The psycho energy was palpable. You're not going to hand me my phone until you expletive. Like, bro, I know I'm not expletive, she rambled. Last time you guys asked me if I was okay. You expletive asked me if I was okay after I was in the ambulance and then you kept me on the ambulance. I know how you are. This statement hinted at previous encounters with emergency services, suggesting a pattern of behavior where she felt victimized by those trying to help. It painted a picture of a fragile individual who viewed all authority as a threat. Just please put your legs in the car, the officer begged, exhausted. Close the expletive door, she finally resigned. Jayla Martinez Plushki was transported to the Lake County Jail. Her night, which began with a mission to retrieve house keys, ended with multiple serious charges: reckless driving, resisting a peace officer, and aggravated battery to a peace officer. Reports indicate that later, during processing at the jail, she committed another battery against a correctional officer, adding yet another felony charge to her record. The Psycho Girl police encounter captured on body camera serves as a stark lesson in how not to handle a traffic stop. Jayla's belief that her status as the 911 caller gave her carte blanche to break traffic laws was incorrect. Her belief that she could walk away from a detention was incorrect. Her belief that screaming for her mother would halt a felony arrest was incorrect. The give him a ticket girl energy she channeled the assumption that she could argue her way out of consequences collided violently with the reality of the Illinois criminal justice system. The incident also highlighted the extreme patience required of modern law enforcement. Faced with a racist rant arrest scenario where a suspect hurled vile and disgusting insults, the officers maintained their composure. They did not take the bait. They stood firm on the law. While online viewers might search for a Karen compilation or a crazy girl needs taser video for entertainment, the reality of the footage is tragic. It shows a young woman completely ill-equipped to handle conflict, devoid of emotional regulation, and seemingly unaware that in the real world, actions have consequences that no amount of screaming for mom can fix. In the end, the only thing she successfully retrieved that night was a criminal record, leaving behind a digital footprint of a nightmare interaction that would follow her long after the flashing lights faded into the dark Illinois night.